Yo guys, sorry you already know that today we are back playing some more Raging Loop, and you hear the music, you see the line of text. I had to think carefully, because there are two people claiming to be a spider, and I think this is affecting who we vote for, and which is going to affect what we do in the future. I don't know if we're going to get a choice, because I don't think I have a key related to either of these things. So let's see if we even get a choice or what's going to happen. I only came to understand Rikako-san's intentions because she told me to vote for her in a peculiar situation. I was assuming that both she and the wolf guy had some ulterior motives, but was that really right? Was the old guy even capable of that? He played with a pretty useless guardian. Maybe he'd only come out because he found it strange that another spider had named themselves. In fact, that was the most natural reaction, especially in the other's eyes. Same one for Rikako-san. From what I saw of her, she was more legend and harmony than intelligence. What if she was actually thinking that by protecting Mako, she would be considered a good guy and avoid gathering votes? What if her affection for me was all part of the plan too? Crap. This was obviously the more reasonable line of thinking. Also, Rikako-san could have been lying to let the wolves know something. Anyway, we had a relatively sane young woman going up against a completely senile man. No matter how you looked at it. Ooh. Umasu, you're lying. Wait, okay, I thought that was going to lead to a choice. We might not be getting a choice right now. Okay. The choice is obvious. No. Why do you say it now then? You almost told us to hang you if we had to. This was after some votes went in. Yes, I did say that. Then why are you saying you have a guardian now that you're about to be hanged? She fell silent. I couldn't tell whether it was silence to protect Mako or just an awkward silence because he pointed out a harsh truth. It's obvious. What about you people? I didn't leave my vote to Yasunaga. That'll make it easier for you to believe me, won't it? Yeah. That's fine. Kyo, you? Rikako-san, are you really the spider? Yes, no Sato-sama. That much is certain. Both a line if you ask me. Kamoshida, if you got nothing better to say, then shut up. Oni-chan, don't worry, I'll protect you. Isn't this weird? It's not fair. Rikako-san went through a lot of bad-mouthing here in Yasumizu, but fought through it for our sake. Why did it flip upside down just because of the old guy's words? Why did he even say it? Shemi, someone might have told him to say that, and it might be that Rikako-san's going through some inner struggle. We don't know what's true. We can't just whip up an answer and simply kill someone like that. It's dangerous. I know, but in the end, it's either you believe or you don't. Fusaishi, what do you think? What was I to do? How was I to approach this? There we go. Okay. Gosh. I feel like usually the wrong answer is the one on top, but I feel, for me, it seems obvious to vote for the old wolf guy. I don't know if that's going to matter. I really want one of these to lead to yet another ending of some sort. I feel like in some backwards way, voting for Rikako is going to be the way, even though that doesn't make that much sense. So I'm going to vote for the old wolf guy, thinking that that might be wrong, but it also, like, I feel like logically makes more sense. I don't know. Let's see. This would be a gamble. I had to remove the unpredictability and simply play the odds. I would have to rely on common sense, or by the first impressions I had, or maybe I'll just believe Rikako-san. I believe that the old wolf man is lying. Your proof is it didn't have to be true as long as everyone was won over. No. The piece was a game where people hunted lies. I couldn't let my eloquence alone do the talking. I needed truth. Did I have to talk about Mako then? No, that would make me simply unforgivable. Then it actually doesn't matter which one we hang. I play the role presented to me. That was the only way for me to gain their trust. What do you mean? If I died tonight, it would be proof that I was a snake and that Takumi-san and Nosato-san are humans. We're hanging someone today, so that'll leave 10 people, 5 of which would be confirmed humans. However, Kaori-san was just a self-proclaimed one. Even so, the remaining 5 wouldn't be able to get enough votes on her. Right, Yoshitsugu-kun? Yeah, I'm not voting for Mom. Then the 5 confirmed humans would win the votes. They would have the fixed majority. Well, we still need insurance that Yoshitsugu-kun won't betray us, but in the end, that too is just about whether you trust him or not. I ain't betraying anybody. I will leave the decision to the rest of you. On the other hand, if I didn't die, those of you who couldn't trust me would be worried. But if I survive, I would use my guardian to look into the most shady person among the 5 unknowns. If it's a wolf, we hang them, and if it's human, we add them to the confirmed list and hang one of the 4 unknowns. Even if I die, then there will be 5 confirmed humans and 3 unknowns, and Kaori-san could tell you how many wolves were left. Even if worse comes to worse and all 3 end up hanging, the humans will still win. Someone from Yasumizu would survive. Then no matter when I die, it would only increase the number of confirmed humans with no drawbacks. Human victory would be certain. But what if I keep surviving? I understand why you'd be curious about that. That's why I promised to exterminate the wolves by the day after tomorrow at worst. That was an impactful line. I could see and hear them gasp. It felt good, but I didn't show it. So I wonder if that choice even mattered, because we went with the old wolf guy, but then went into a tangent of, like, it doesn't actually matter. I wonder if the same thing would have happened if we picked Rikako or not. If I fail, you can hang me right then. Even if I was a wolf, you would still have time to find the last one. So as things are, the humans have the advantage no matter what. So it doesn't matter which one of them you hang. However, I don't believe we should leave the old man. Personally, I can't even tell if he's sane, senile, or just malicious. Haraki-san? Also, it's likely that Rikage-san would soon be taken out by the wolves. The true spider is a real threat, after all. Indeed, I am prepared. Let us continue with that, and if it doesn't work, you can hang both of us. That should give you peace of mind. But if you leave the old man, who doesn't take responsibility for his words and actions, there will always be an element of uncertainty. That's why I believe he should be hanged. That will make the path to victory clearer. Another thing. I think she's the real deal, and I have a minor detail that makes me inclined to believe her. It's not very substantial, though, so I'm keeping it to myself for now. But just as Takumi-san said, I don't plan to die yet. I'm expecting Rikage-san to put her life on the line to protect me, so this is my decision. I truly am this cowardly, but since I'm the snake, I will go through with the strategy. The fact that I'm putting my future life on the line is proof of the only sincerity a person with no one who trusts or supports me, can give. Please believe me, that is all. Yasuhiko, what do you think? Takumi-san instantly asked that. I'll believe him. I thought he was a snake right from the start, though he turned out to be a lot more heartless than I expected. Yes, I'll believe him as well. Above all else, I want to prevent Rikage-san's hanging. Kari-san? Yes, I'm entrusting my vote to Yasunaga. Old man? This was the moment of truth. You not believe in him. Thought as much. There's got to be holes all over his reasoning. We got no way to make him take responsibility if we're caught in him. I'll believe myself instead and kill Uematsu, who voted for Taiba. The Vix majority will fail then. Old man. But Takumi-san did something unexpected. Please, give me your vote. He lowered his hands and forehead on the floor. Takumi Nishan? Like I said, I believe the guy, but I don't trust his humanity. He ain't a good guy and would probably give us loads of trouble if he was our enemy. But being a bad guy doesn't mean you become a wolf. Those things aren't related. Listening to his words made me realize that he was serious. That's why I believe him. I know it's a bit complicated for you, but that's why I want you to trust me, as someone you've known for 30 years. If you do, I'll promise to kill both Fuseishi and Uematsu the moment we find out they're liars. I don't even care that the corruption will come from me. That's my promise. He did the same as me, bet his life on his words. Please. He even gave his honor. Talk to me, you dumbass. Old man. You gotta clean up when the feast's over. I got nothing left. I'll take the corruption with me all the way to Yomi. Hey, Fuseishi. Yes? You better prepare yourself. I still think you're guilty of Taiba's death. If you can't make up for that as a snake, I'll skin you alive. I gulped. I was being glared at by an old hunter who was no stranger to death. You too, Uematsu. I'm prepared. Tally the votes. Your turn, old fart. Without an expression or a word, he pointed at me. Old guy, 1 vote. Old wolf guy, 2 votes. The old fellow, 3 votes. Yasumizu's elder, 4 votes. 1 for the wolf man, 5 votes. Old guy. Ishikun, are you voting for him too? Yeah. Then it's settled. I'll do the same then, sorry. Kamoshida-sama. 1 for the wolf guy. 1 for Haruaki-san. Whoa. Shine, that seems... I mean, I just don't get it. I don't want Rikage-san to die either, but it's possible that the old man said that just because he's senile. Why is no one pointing that out? Why isn't Haruaki-san saying that? I said it doesn't matter, didn't I? You can't predict Maker Chan's votes either, can you? Huh? If they're both suspicious, I would prefer the old man to become the sacrifice instead of the little girl. It's a reasonable approach. That's enough. Rikage-san. For the old fellow. The old man. For the old man. Bring the rope. I need time. Shut it. Kano-san suddenly punched the guy. Dang. I'll hang myself. Rest of you go back. Alright, similar to the last time I said this, I'm just going to keep playing this loop out. And then if it ends up in a successful end or a death of some sort, then I'll go back and choose the other just to see if there's a different ending if we decide to vote for Rikako-san first. He quickly tied up the wolf guy and pulled him off into the mist. His voice was strangely subdued, but I could feel intense emotion behind it. None of us knew what made him like that, so we all just sat paralyzed. Oh man, what's gotten into you? The one to move first was Takumi-san. Makishima-san, what's up with him? By the time I went outside, Takumi-san was already disappearing into the mist. Takumi-san! Fuseishi, you stay there. You should hold him back. Huh? Alright. Why? I don't know, but you're the most important human right now. You gotta stay safe, just in case. Just in case. Oh yeah. The last time when the wolf guy was gonna be lynched, it led to some unexplained murders. Takumi-san, don't go. I shouted that. You're necessary for us to win the feast. There was no response, even his footsteps were vanishing into the mist. What do you believe will happen? I don't know. I felt my heart jump. I turned around and saw nothing besides Yoshitsugu-kun, who was wearing a suspicious scowl. What? Let's just go. Leave the old fart to Takumi. I don't know if that was Yoshitsugu saying that or somebody else. Obviously with the audio turned off, I wouldn't know. But that was obviously somebody, or a voice of somebody who lives here. But think about how it'll look for you to disappear on your own. He had a point. They only trusted me because Takumi-san was vouching for me. Alright, let's just go back to the dining hall. My words were for nothing, and in about half an hour, we were joined by both Takumi-san and Kanzo-san. Their expressions were grim, but implied nothing specific. Where's the old man? Hanged. He sat down on the seat close to the entrance. Takumi-ni? I didn't see it, but you know how old man Kanzo, he ain't lying. With that, today's feast had ended. Everyone sighed quietly in relief. There must have been some of the wolf's depression in that. After all, from my perspective, we were just one step away from victory. However, this step would be one that was very hard to take. How easy would it be if I died and it all ended then? However, it would once again be pointless. Until I solved why death hadn't come for me, I remained afraid of this unexplained phenomenon. Until I solved the mystery and escaped this loop, I would see many tragedies, fight against fear, and keep seeing many bad endings. A part of me hoped that winning the feast would end it, but if it didn't, I would have no clue where the core of this mystery was. Was this mystery even solvable? Could I cling to my insanity until then? I remained uneasy. I don't know. After a bit of rest, we had tons of things to do. Alright, there's a lot of stuff happening, so I don't think I'm dying tonight. We'll see. The top priority was cleaning up Mamiya-san and Haru-chan's remains. I wanted to help, but they stopped me since something might happen in the mist. Okay. I couldn't help with the food either, probably because they were aware of me too. I couldn't blame them, considering what I said. In a way, they're now more distant with me than last time, and when I was just a pure outsider. I continued watching the people carefully, do what they had to, making sure there were no blind spots under Takumi's guidance. Okay. I wanted to win. I'd gotten this far, so I wanted to defeat the wolves. Though that was actually just a part of my desire to survive and expose the things I had no choice but to keep quiet about. I'd said all that horrible stuff in order to protect Mako. I just wanted to finally find peace from the stuff that bothered me. That felt like escapism, though. It seemed like proof that my mental state was weakened, and I didn't like it. By the way, Fusei-kun, you said we would win at worst the day after tomorrow. Do you think it's possible to win tomorrow, then? As everyone worked and I had nothing to do, Kinosuke-shi, who wasn't involved in the work, whispered that to me. Yes, I do. I didn't know if everyone else believed me, but I did feel like I was close to the conclusion. You cannot tell me why, I assume? No, not yet. I couldn't let anyone find out that Mako was a spider. In fact, if I tried to survive after someone found out what she was and that I prioritized my own survival over hers, I'd be the target of everyone's scorn. That was how complicated my current position was. Well, I suppose it cannot be helped. That aside, you seem to be getting close to Rikaku Uematsu-san. Well, I knew he'd been curious about that. Incidentally, Rikaku-san had insisted on going with Takumi-san and the others to mourn the ones lost. We decided that it wouldn't be bad to get together if we both survived the miss. I see. What was I supposed to say here? Rikaku Uematsu-san is important to you as more than just a fellow village head? Just so you know, it's not all set in stone yet. Why not tell her how you feel? Oh, that wouldn't do. I'm just clinging to the past. Oh, is she your ex or something? Hardly. Though it's just a spider family. She's still the head. A second son like myself is a poor match for her. And I'm a nobody. Going by that logic, we're worlds apart. I would like to say that's true, but this is a time when the feelings of both parties are important. At least outside this village. I spent a long time outside, so I understand that all this praise and censure binding are just relics of an age long gone. That's why I believe that a man who doesn't have such bindings might be able to make her happy. After the miss came, I eventually came to think that way. I'm not sure what to say here. I still think that she's the one who will have to make the final call. That is something just between you two. I know full well that I have no say in the matter, but what she bears as the bedroom woman servant would be quite a strange and heavy burden for you. What do you mean? It's not really my place to say, though I'm willing to consult you about most other matters. I'll appreciate it. He then gave me a business card. Kinosuke Nosato, MD. Graduated from XX University, doctor? Wow, so he really was an elite. It wasn't for a specific job, it was just his personal info. Was he looking for a new job? It had his email and phone number on it, and it felt like a relic. Looking at it prompted a bit of nostalgia even. The bedroom woman servant's role, huh? Was he being considerate, or was it some sort of warning? It didn't seem like I could ask any further, especially with all the people here, so I'll just take it as goodwill and move on. I didn't think much of this, but I had absolutely no idea that I would catch a glimpse of a new kind of darkness from the Uematsu family and Fujiyoshi as a whole. Oh no. Help. The cleanup was over and everyone returned to eat. I imagine you were tired. Please eat as much as you want. Thank you. Kari-san was a good person. I didn't know everything about her, but she treated everyone with respect, keeping her relationships proper and bright. Yes, just like that. I knew for sure that her personality was supported by her sons. She'd arrived at Fujiyoshi, had to deal with their strange customs, lost her husband, and was sent here to Yasumizu, where she'd lived for over a decade. Her mind was actually very frail at this point, and without her sons to support her, she would easily break. However, even if it came from a strained mind and heart, goodwill was goodwill, and conscience was conscience, not to mention that she didn't do anything bad yet. The fact that I had checked my bowl for something green, despite that, made me realize how ill-natured I really was. Unfortunately, that was just how I was, so I would at least keep up my mask and effectively give them conscious of my own kind. I sat down, put my hands together, picked up the chopsticks, and ate the rice gruel. Like always, it was simple, beastly, yet so good. I only felt that something was wrong with it a bit later. At first, I just thought that I burned my mouth or something. What? But suddenly, I couldn't feel my mouth at all, and after an unnatural sensation that overwhelmed my tongue and cheeks, I lost my sense of direction. What? My body twisted, and right as a dull pain went through my head, I fell to the floor. Hello? I'd been poisoned. Am I dying? I could understand that clearly, but all my processing power went into dealing with the unnatural feeling attacking my body. I couldn't see properly. I couldn't breathe or speak. Despite that, I still had a burning pain in my mouth and an urge to vomit, along with unbearable agony. I couldn't understand what was happening around me. It was probably pure chaos, but I was struggling to even breathe. And it was only getting worse. A sudden intense impact hit my back. My body jumped and then I puked. Oh boy. Fuseishi, Fuseishi. My breathing stabilized for a moment and I could hear a voice as well as see something. A wet floor in my own hands. However, the nausea didn't end. The spasms made me feel like my chest was turning inside out and I soon puked again. Kia, what is this? What? Right after he ate it, the only thing here that potent is wolfsbane. Anyone else eat it? I did. Most of us did, actually. What about you? It wasn't me. We gotta make him puke it out. Do you have a rubber hose? Hose? Clean out the stomach. I've never done it myself, but I have no choice. Connect to the tap. Hurry. I couldn't understand what they were talking about. My burning throat was a clear message that this was lethal. Haruki-san's hang in there. We gotta give him CPR or something. We do, but only after we clean out his stomach, clear the path, boil some water. Someone was treating me somehow. I could tell that much. But I also knew it was too late. I was strangely calm about it, too. So this was the end, huh? Like I figured, making it to the end as a snake was pretty difficult. What about next time, then? What was I supposed to do to move forward? Shit, I wanted to bring as many memories as possible to the next time around. I wanted to hear what they were saying, memorize it, and analyze it properly on the next loop. That was unlikely, though. All my memories of my final moments so far were pretty vague. I was fated to never die, yet to die many times. It was really interesting. It was a really interesting thing to think about, but not even those who returned seemed to be given the key to the mysteries of final moments. Shit, no, as hard to know. Even the pain was becoming dull, my mind was on the verge of fading. And there it is. Right? Everyone please leave? Wait, huh? I was taking his poison. Oh, hold on. Everyone suddenly fell silent, and I thought this was because my senses were fading. However, it was actually the opposite. My senses were absurdly clear considering the situation. This could have been a pre-death lull or perhaps some sort of delusion. I would have preferred to die while paralyzed, though. Clearly feeling the pain of death wasn't exactly a good time. That was a weird statement to make, but the absurdity was lost on me. Suddenly, I felt the light past my eyelids grow weaker. Once it was almost completely dark, I realized it was because the windows were closed. I slowly opened my eyes. Yo, I couldn't see clearly, but only because of the dim lighting in the shut dining hall. I moved my head, but it felt really heavy. My heart had almost stopped pumping blood. My pulse was dull and weak. I was certain I would die soon. But then I felt Rikaku-san approach me. Her expression wasn't clear to me, but her breathing was strangely loud. She was panting but trying to endure it. I thought that was because of the slight quivering in each of her breaths. After covering, no wiping her mouth, she brought her body close to mine. Oh, no. She actually straddled me. Though she was in a position where she could look down at me, she looked at me with upturned eyes. That, in addition to her bashful expression, made it clear that she was about to do something sinful. She stopped hiding the intensity of her breathing. Her small tongue, wet with saliva, was peeking through her mouth, and it was extremely lustful. I could feel her warmth on my abdomen. With her every breath, I felt the hardness of her pelvis despite all the cloth between us. Even though I was dying, or maybe because of it, the feeling of the opposite sex in me awakened the instinct, the man within me. I love you. Oh my gosh. Her voice felt like it didn't belong to her. A fine, traditional woman. A woman that appeared younger than she was. A clumsy woman with some unfortunate tendencies. A mysterious woman. None of that was there. She was now lustful, bewitching, overpowering. The enchanting, mature lady squirmed as if suffocating in her familiar black clothing. As I noticed that, she reached for the edge of my shirt, lifted up, and went in with her fingers and with practiced motions. They were cold. I could feel them on my skin, passing my belly button, making me moan lightly. What in the world am I watching? Hehehe. She then reached her other hand in and moved them both without restraint. As her arms went deep inside, her palms caressed my torso, and her fingers lustfully searched for any sensitive spots. Despite my confusion, it made me moan over and over. She was toying with my near-mortal clarity, which was both confusing and a bit uncomfortable. However, I didn't resist. Because my limbs were weak from the poison? No, that would just be making excuses. I enjoyed that she was having a way with me. It was exciting, numbing, and paralyzing. However, when she reached for my belt and tried to undo it, I somehow found the power to put out my right hand and try to push her aside. Wait, so she was trying to, like, assault us? I'm so confused. She was saying about taking in our poison, though. I thought she was trying to help us. I don't know. It was a feeble gesture, but enough to get the message across. I see. Her whisper told me that she understood me, but was somewhat indifferent about it. Very well. She moved and backed away to the side. As her warmth faded, the coldness from the impending death came back. This might hurt a bit, but She then smiled and took something out of her sleeve. Relax. An ice pick? It seemed like a Japanese-made owl. Upon seeing it, I couldn't understand anything anymore. Was she going to make love to me? Torture me? Kill me? I couldn't understand, but it appeared that my resistance from a moment ago left me completely powerless and unwilling to do anything. As my vision grew dim, so did my senses. But then I felt a pain in my left shoulder. Had she pierced me with the awl? That was the last thing I thought and felt before losing consciousness. My eyes opened and I sat up. So we're not dead. Haruaki-san. Chen was right next to me for some reason. She was holding my hand, crying her eyes out. I'm so glad you're alive. She then rested her forehead on the back of my hand and began crying even more fiercely. I looked around. This was the dining hall. Everyone else was here too, but they all wore conflicted expressions. Chemi was the only one openly expressing how they felt. What happened? I actually had no idea for a moment, but then... What was that? Right. I almost died. What saved me, though? And why did I feel so good? It was like I'd had a full night's sleep. Hard to believe I was just on the brink of death. Sorry, Chimi-chan. Can you, Yeah, sorry. It's fine. What happened? You've been asleep for about 5 hours. It's dark outside now, but not much changed. Nosato-san, what happened to me? Aconite poisoning. The symptoms were so bad that it should have been impossible for you to survive. But for some reason, you're alive. I believe I must congratulate you. So, did Rikaku-san not actually, was that more of a vision than something that actually happened? His tone seemed to be somewhat sarcastic, but he was probably just hiding how suspicious and uneasy he felt. He was eyeing Rikaku-san, who was standing near the window, looking down and comforting Mako. He wasn't the only one. She was the center of attention here. Wonder, disbelief, reverence, worship. Prayers really do work, huh? I had little doubt that was what he actually thought. Do they? I don't remember much, but thank you, Rikaku-san. I simply fulfilled my role as an Uematsu. It's fine. All that matters is he's alive. I didn't agree there. Being saved by some religious rite was just as ridiculous as this death loop I was trapped in. Prayers? Religious rites? Did that experience really qualify? I reached for my shoulder and felt fresh bandages. The cotton was bloody, meaning she really had stabbed me. Did she suck out the poison? That couldn't be it. I wasn't bitten by a snake. I'd ingested aconite poison. You couldn't just suck that out of the bloodstream. I shall take in his poison. She had said that, right? Taking my poison. Yes, because taking in the corruption is one of the Uematsu's roles. That, perhaps my role here is to take in the hatred of everyone present. The role of the Uematsu. What she bears as the bedroom woman servant would be quite a strange and heavy burden for you. The spider are bedroom woman servants. That was why the Uematsu of old had the role of protecting the dreams of the villagers. Yes, the Uematsu were also responsible for funeral rites. Our faith might have had some roots in Buddhism as a result of that duty. Huh. Yeah, right? So that was how it was. I understood now. And I also understood how frightening the Uematsu were. However, there was something more important to worry about. Fuseishi almost died and Uematsu saved him. Could be an act. A reasonable thing to suspect, but if he can really make an act of stopping his own heart, he can make a living out of that stunt. Shikimochi, you saw him, right? Those are real symptoms. Yeah, eating wolfsbane is no joke. And Richan ended up like that isn't a joke either. Stop it. I just realized that her black clothes were gone. Oh man. Fuseishi and Uematsu are humans. So, wait, it was a mob. There it was. Everyone was here, but Kaori-san alone seemed to be at a different position. She was deep in the room, sitting, probably forcefully, on a chair with a pale face. I wasn't the only one who ate the rice bowl, right, Yasunaga-kun? Yes, no one ate any more after you were poisoned, but there was probably none of it in the pot. I believe the bowl you ate from had poison applied to it. Or some was poured into the food after taking it from the pot. No, I didn't do it. Oribe-san, I'm not accusing you. I'm simply saying that it's fair to consider you the prime suspect. We can't absolve you of responsibility because we haven't formed a counter-argument yet. That's it. I understand. I was the only one at the counter then, but it wasn't me. The bowls were on that shelf. No one was watching it, so it could have been anyone. That's the wrong way to look at it, Yasunaga Oribe-kun. Everyone could see it, so if something strange happened, someone would have noticed. Also, you were the one who brought the bowls out to be used. Are you saying you're the culprit? No, I had no reason to do that. True, and it's not like there were names on the bowls. The only time you could target him specifically was while the food was being served. I know, but think about it. Mom would have been the first suspect, even if Fuseishi-san wasn't the one poisoned. What would be the point of her killing someone in that situation? Yasunaga-kun, I hate to say this, but she might have wanted to take out the snake even if it meant dying in the process. Hagumi-san joined the exchange. Kyo's right, logically speaking, you're the most suspicious one here, Kaori-san. That's what everyone thinks, not just Kyo. Even I'm starting to suspect you a little. Takumi-san, you too? I can't let Kyo get all the hate here. How unlike you. But personally, I do trust Kaori-san. What's your reason? If she had to kill someone to protect Yoshitsugu, she'd kill everyone. Not just Fusaishi, she wouldn't make any excuses for it either. You're a scary mom with serious guts. Yeah. Yeah, he was completely right about her. Takumi-san knew her so well and still fell for her, huh? He was serious about her. It made me want to cheer him on. In that case, I had to make it through the night. I'll trust you too, Kaori-san. Fusaishi-san. Do you have a reason? Well, the circumstantial evidence might not be in her favor, but it's cancelled out by her nature as a person. Also, I want to trust Takumi-san's analysis. He believed in me, after all. Thanks. What do you say? We can't hang anymore today. We'll worry about it tomorrow. Good point. Anyway, Slate, let's go to bed. Palm, I help clean up. I'll do it too. Gonna use the stuff here. Thank you, too. We left a family of 3 and went outside. Hey, Chi, where's my gun? It's fine. He's better now. Actually, I found it. Ah! To my surprise, the hunting rifle was placed against the dining hall's wall. But, where's the bolts? I threw them into the mist. Kazu-san grunted in displeasure, snatched the gun from Moshi, and went off into the mist. Man, I'm no good. She chuckled emptily. There were still dried lines of tears down her cheeks. It's fine. We had to take it apart, and if it went completely missing, we'd have assumed you took it with you. Me? Oh, as a weapon. Yeah, I wouldn't want to draw suspicion, right? Man, this is such a pain. I'm tired of walking on eggshells. Can't the mist just go away already? Don't worry. Everything will come to an end tomorrow. Yeah. I'm going then. Good night. As he left, Takumi-san lightly tapped my shoulder. Hugh said your recovery was a miracle. Don't waste it. He gave my shoulder a firm squeeze and left. Of course. I'll do whatever I could to survive. I'm going to. Fusayaki-san, good night. Haruki-san, be careful. Yeah, good night. Kage-san didn't speak or even look at me until the very end. I crossed my legs and sat down on my futon. I wasn't tense anymore, probably because I was used to it, or because I wouldn't die tomorrow. I just didn't feel like sleeping, though. I actually felt really good. Why had I survived? Was it really aconite? Even I'd heard that real aconite poisoning was lethal. What if it was actually some weird poison that just made it seem like you were dying, then fully recovered afterwards? That kind of trick would be kicked out of the Rookie of the Year Mystery Novel Award in the prep rating. That's the wrong way to look at it. Yes, Nagori Bakun. Everyone could see it, so if something strange happened, everyone would have noticed. What would be the point of her killing someone in that situation? I could relate to them both. Kinosuke was right about that was unlikely to be pure coincidence, and Yasunaga-kun was right that it was an unlikely risk to take for someone who didn't need to. All this thinking about who done it and why made me feel like I was in some mystery novel. Though since I could easily dispel all the suspicions on Kaori-san, I could more or less see how it was. The very premise was wrong. So, I knew exactly what I had to do today. I'm glad you do, because I don't. I took out my notepad, wrote down the name, Yoshitsugu Oribe, and put it near my pillow. We don't even get a choice here, okay. Suddenly there was a knock on my door. What? Oh, okay, I think I'm going to end it here. I think this is going to be the cliffhanger. Gosh, okay, we have some stuff. Before I leave, I do want to see, so the last choice that I made, there is a separate line, I think, for the last voting. So I do think that we're going to have to go back and do that eventually, but I think this is going to lead to an ending of some sort. Is it a good ending? Is it a bad ending? I don't know. But with how much stuff has happened, I like, how do I not make it through the night? But we're going to see who this mystery visitor is at our door on the next time. There's a lot at play here. So, I don't know what I just witnessed. Let me know if you're enjoying this, because I know I am. But I will see you all around the next time. So till then, peace out.